one last kiss. For old time's sake.
Go to hell.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Heath.
I'm Barry.
Yeah, Barry's taking place of Jay because we have no Jay today.
I'm not Jay.
You're listening to Host of Horrors, show where we discuss and review horror films based off of predetermined themes of the month. Barry!
Woo! Hello, Heath.
Yeah, Jay had to go shoot a wedding, so we brought Barry back.
I'm back.
Barry's
Hello,
back.
guys. I see an empty chair where Jay usually sits. It makes me sad.
It does, yeah, but he's got grown-up things to do, where
Yeah.
we watch Kevin Bacon be a dirty little pervert.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very excited to see another, like, a perverted Invisible Man. I
Yeah.
want a naked Invisible Man.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just not the same.
That's your favorite. There we go.
It's the best. It makes everything creepier or funnier, or I don't know what it is. I really enjoy it.
So yeah, we are discussing 2000's Hollow Man, directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Kevin
And
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
He's actually French, yeah.
But yeah, so essentially this is The Invisible Man without the copyright.
Right. Yeah, tell us about it. It's called Hollow Man.
It's called Hollow Man because Columbia Pictures could not get the rights to Invisible Man because Universal had those. They're just like, you know what? It's Hollow Man.
How did they? I mean, there must have been some sort of legal battle over this movie, right?
I don't know. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I just know that that's the reason it's called Hollow Man is because it can't be Invisible Man.
Yeah, and they never like have a line in the movie. He's like, you know what? I'm hollow. Like,
No,
you're invisible.
And they talk about the Invisible Man several times. They
Yeah.
bring it up in like that stupid little joke that he says.
Yeah,
But it's like, no, we're just gonna call the movie It's Hollow Man
yeah, makes no sense.
at all. Yeah, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. We were just talking about how you like stack up these movies against one another because they are very different. It's also very interesting seeing several movies on the same topic or the same character or
Yeah,
slightly getting around copyright
and
infringement.
completely different time frames too.
Yeah.
Because you got like 1933 where cinema's really coming to its own, 1940 where we're in the midst of the war and films has its own unique style there. 2000 horror movies have their own unique style.
Very generic.
And then you got 2021, which is like what people are saying, like the renaissance of, how would you say it? Like sniff your own farts horror?
Sniff your own farts horror.
Yeah,
What
it's
does
like
that mean?
pretentious horror where it's like it's a horror movie, but it's also like it touches a nerve as far as
Some thematic.
thematic. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just ooh scary. It's
Yeah.
like the A24
Yeah.
Midsummers and Hereditary and Lighthouse and shit like that.
Yeah, there's a family drama
Yeah.
going on below.
There's more than
it's
just ooh scary.
Yeah, he's invisible. You can't see him.
That's all this movie was.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
my gosh.
It was good though. It's entertaining.
It was definitely entertaining. We were talking about how you rate stuff. I'm trying to factor that in. There may not be like the technical, not talking about this movie, but certain movies may not have the technical prowess that others do, but I enjoy them more for whatever reason.
So like with my ratings, I always try to like factor that in. Like especially with Invisible Man 2021, I hate some of the plot holes, or I hate a lot of the plot holes. So that factors negatively towards it.
Yeah.
But I love watching the movie because there's so many good scenes in it. So that's where I like kind of come to my 3.5 floating knives or whatever you called it.
Yeah. I liked the creepiness and the like juvenileness of this Hollow Man, Invisible Man.
This Hollow Man.
Yeah, he's hollow inside. Like before when he's figuring out the computing sequence or whatever, the colored dot thing at the beginning. Amazing. I love those, like, the animations of like high technology happening back in this time period.
I love computer smart people trying to seem computer smart, especially back in the day when like hacking was just going on your keyboard, when in reality it's just kind of like plugging a thumb drive in and you sit back and hope for the best.
Right. It's not really an active thing.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're sitting there like trying to warp DNA by putting a blue dot here and a yellow dot here.
And then
it doesn't work like that.
Ah, fuck. Unstable again.
Unstable. Should have used the green dot.
It's ridiculous. And I like the language, quantum entanglement, all this.
Quantum entanglement.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So evidently, in quantum physics no longer implies the multiverse, time travel, and shrinking to an ant size. It's now also turning yourself invisible.
Just invisibility on and off.
On and off.
Yeah.
More on than off.
Yeah. The setting. The set itself seemed like you were talking about of a certain age. I mean, the hard, like really raw industrial stuff.
I
on
actually
top of all the technology.
I do. So we talked about like in the first one, the 1933 one, where like how sets just had their own unique look back in the day.
Yeah.
Honestly, sets in 2000 kind of had their own look too.
If you asked me when did this take place, I would probably be able to guess within 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool in like in like a retro, not retro way.
Yeah,
it's
I think we've got enough space with it now. We could recognize it as its own.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was going on then. The music, the like everything.
No, the music was very much 2000.
Oh yeah,
it's like they had to. It's almost like every movie in that era had to have some sort of rockcore music going on.
Yeah. Rockcore, yeah.
Rockcore Evanescence or like Drowning Pool or something.
Yeah. Something cool. Like they were probably still selling soundtracks at that point. So they had to put like whatever kind of,
Yeah, coming to you soon. The Hollow Man soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly. It was awesome. Yeah, far more pervy in this movie. He goes in like,
oh my god.
First thing he does is go and like grope his coworker.
Yeah, the veterinarian. Shit.
Redheaded girl. I don't
remember.
I don't remember their names. Yeah.
Sarah, yeah.
Haircuts in this movie too. She had an interesting haircut.
Everyone did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of that time.
But yeah, no, it's the weirdest thing too, because he pulled her nipple. That's what threw me off.
She's asleep at like the booth where they're watching him. This is after he's become invisible. And he goes up and sort of caresses her hair and then moves his way down to her blouse and starts unbuttoning it. Three or four buttons.
Yeah, every female in this movie had their shirts were like a button away from being topless.
Exactly. At all times.
At all times.
So you could at any time just go bloop, gotcha. Yeah, he like undresses her and like is fondling her and like pulling on her nipple.
And that's what got me, because like I'm sitting there going, oh dude, you're being a creep, and then you just see nipple getting pulled and I laughed.
What?
It's not, you can't see a nipple being pulled by nothing and not laugh.
It looks so funny. Yeah. It's not erotic
at all.
Very strange. It's very like a juvenile kind of humor. What would a 12-year-old do if you granted him invisible? Yeah. And how did she not wake up? I don't know.
Yeah, my nipples are sensitive. I'd feel that.
Come on. Yeah. She kind of does a thing where she's like dreaming. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So yeah, essentially the story is you have Sebastian Cain, who is working on invisibility for the Pentagon. Mm-hmm. And they finally figured out how to... They've known how to make things invisible. The problem was making them not invisible afterwards.
Uh-huh.
And so they were trying to figure that out. And they ended up doing that with the gorilla. One thing, though, that they never figured out, which it's like they ignored, was the aggressive side effect.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was just the gorilla.
No, it was because they even brought it up several times in the film about he's been invisible longer than most of the animals. It's probably affecting his brain.
Yeah.
Which I doubt. He was a dick before. Although he did get really aggressive towards the end.
Yeah.
But they never...
super strong.
Like, you would think you would want to figure out the whole them becoming aggressive after their invisible thing before you go to human trial.
Right.
Like, yeah, yay, you can turn someone back from being invisible. Like, good for you, but you still got a gorilla biting hands.
Yeah. She maybe was a very nice gorilla before they made her invisible.
Elizabeth? I think Elizabeth, something like that. Isabel?
Yeah. Isabel? Yeah.
Maybe. But it was Isabel 2, because Isabel 1 got lickedified.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't come back from being invisible.
R.I.P. Isabel 1. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like that he was... I understood a little bit more of his motivation of, like, breaking out and, like... Because he was trapped or whatever in the lab scene for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you're trapped for 10 days. You're going to get a little on edge.
Yeah.
But I like that they made him seem like a dick.
Yeah.
Like he could have done the things he did at the end of the movie just by himself. Because he was already shown to be a perv, always shown to be
God
complex, chauvinist. Get all those hallmarks. It's just, I feel like the serum just made him aggressive.
Yeah. Made him invulnerable, feeling like he could just do whatever he wants. Like...
I think that was just him. So so they move on to human trials, like I said, and of course he wants to be the first one because he wants to be invisible. He wants that power. Mm-hmm. He even looks at like the dog and it's like, what's it like? What's it like to be invisible? So he wants to be invisible, turns invisible. But they can't figure out how to bring him back like they did the gorilla because human bodies are
different than gorillas.
Go figure. So the whole movie is them trying to figure out how to bring him back from being invisible and him essentially liking being invisible way too much.
Yeah. Getting a taste for the power and stuff.
Yeah. That poor woman in the other apartment.
Yeah. So he's got this gorgeous neighbor across.
Very attractive, who doesn't know how to close blinds.
No.
At all.
She gets home from work and she needs to get undressed. And so he watches her at first, and that's when you get the first taste of like, oh, this guy's kind of this isn't gonna go well.
Yeah, in the very beginning of the movie, he's like watching her, and then finally she like closes the curtains and stuff, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
But then after he breaks out, and at first he just like wants to leave, go to his apartment, get some fresh air, which is understandable. But then he sees her undressing, but she does the curtain thing again, and he's like, fuck. But wait a minute. No, I shouldn't.
She would never know.
But she would never know. And things happen.
And we never really find out what happened there. Like, I think he touches her and she screams, and then we cut away and we never go back.
Like, he starts messing around with her
Gets into her apartment.
It's very implied. I feel like it's never addressed, which I appreciate. But it's very implied because essentially after fucking around with her and she's like, who's there? He rushes her and she starts falling over onto the bed, and then you get the jump cut.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So it's very implied.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor lady. Okay, so I was in my apartment all alone, and then you're never gonna believe me.
Especially in 2000, they're never gonna believe her.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then he gets all crazy and shit, especially after he finds out that Josh Brolin is dating, what's her name?
Elizabeth Shue.
She was in Leaving Las Vegas.
Yep.
They're dating, but Elizabeth Shue and Mr. Bacon was dating beforehand, and she broke up with him because, he's crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's Kevin Bacon. I think he knew about it, like, going in before when he became invisible.
No, because even Josh Brolin was like, we got to tell him eventually.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, he won't take it well. Because he was like, we can go in the same car into work. And she's like, no, we better take our separate cars. And he's like, we got to tell him eventually. So he didn't know. He just knew she had a boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, and she turned away the camera at the beginning and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that this reminded me of the 2021 one, in that it was like the jealous guy was like the main motivation.
Yeah.
In the very first one, there was like the world domination part that he went to. Like, I can take over the world and have an army of naked people and like
running around, invisible naked people.
Yeah. An army. I'm telling you, the world's greatest army. You can't see them. And yeah. Okay, so jumping ahead a little bit, he decides to murder everyone because he doesn't want to be found out.
Yeah, especially after like the whole catalyst is like he finds out that Josh Brolin and Miss Shu are boinking.
Yeah.
And he gets all jealous, angry, aggressive. He beats the shit out of a dog.
Yeah, he does.
Poor dog.
Like, the dog sort of explodes. You see it in the heat vision, but like it looks like something happens to this poor dog.
Like he grabs the dog, starts strangling it, and it just whips it around into the cage, and it just...
Yeah, he hit that shit hard.
And yeah, he decides, you know what? Nobody gets this power. Only I get this power. So he kills the doctor, so he doesn't tell any of the generals, then locks everyone in the facility, and it becomes a typical slasher movie at that point.
Yeah.
With all the tropes.
Yeah.
Like, and what's
fucking
sad,
invisible. Why can't he kill them like this? Come on.
so easy to, and he's got them all in a room, but
Yeah.
they're not even trying.
No.
It's like they got the darts, they got the heat goggles. Before he even sets anything up, they could start doing something.
Yes.
And before he even sets anything up, he could start just like, I don't know, walking around and just neck snap.
Yeah.
Oh, where am I? Neck snap.
Yeah. Grab a fucking weapon. Later on, he gets a crowbar and he gets no, he never gets a knife. Never uses a gun.
He uses like string or something, like a shoot.
Yeah. He chokes that one lady. Yeah, so he chokes the one lady. They all come back and find her. Why isn't he there with a sharp object and just fucking... It's over.
Yeah, just stab.
Or there's like
Stab, stab.
sulfuric acid. Like
yeah. Okay, that's one thing I didn't understand. So, especially because they showed him doing it afterwards. So
yeah.
he gets the elevator to where it only responds to his voice. All their access codes are denied, so they can't use the elevator.
Right.
And then towards the end, after he kills everyone except for Miss Shu and Mr. Brolin, he decides, okay, I'm going to blow up the whole facility.
Yeah.
Break the device so no one can stop it, and then I'm going to leave. Why not do that to begin with?
No.
When everyone's in one little area talking about what they need to do with you, how to handle you and stuff like that, just be over there, making your little sulfuric acid bomb, break it, leave. They're fucked. You're saved.
You don't get the final fight scene. You know what I mean? It seems like all these old movies, you have to...
Oh, yeah, you got to have that final climactic hero vanquishes
shit's blowing up.
The villain in the most elaborate way possible.
Yes. It's over the top in a way. Like a lot of it is, that genre or that era. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, big explosions.
Yeah.
He dies so many ways.
Okay. Yeah. We talked about some plot holes in the last one, but like what? But like I don't know why, but with the 2021 version, I was more disappointed by the plot holes. You know what I mean?
I think
this one I never really took it as seriously, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is where like 2021 you can see the room for it to be a great film and like certain things just hold it back from that. Mm-hmm. This is just a cheesy little movie. So though you can see plot holes, it's entertaining.
Yes.
So where 2021, I had fun watching it, and I can appreciate like the filmmaking aspect of it and what Lee Winnell did with certain camera angles and things like that. I appreciate that, but I am more irritated with the plot holes because I'm not sitting there just going, oh, well, I'm not supposed to take this serious.
Right.
They build it as something you're supposed to take serious.
Yes.
This is just a invisible nudist with a god complex going insane.
Yeah.
With a giant invisible monkey and big explosions.
And it's awesome for that.
From the director that gave you RoboCop and Starship Troopers. You are
he did Starship Troopers too?
Yes.
Okay,
you
awesome.
are not supposed to take this serious.
Right. And maybe in that way it knows what it is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he did Starship Troopers too. Huh. Unrelated question. What's your favorite Kevin Bacon movie?
Sudden Death.
Oh, I don't know that. What is that one?
It's actually James Wan directed it.
Okay.
So Kevin Bacon plays this guy, and his son is murdered by a group, like a little local gang group.
Okay.
And he basically goes on a warpath killing them.
Okay.
But he's a normal, regular guy. So like a lot of the fight scenes, and these are just gangsters. Like they know how to shoot, they know how to fight, but it's not like well choreographed. You could trip over yourself running kind of stuff. So it's like this chaotic energy of him, an average dude, trying to kill these other dudes.
Okay.
It's good.
What's
It's
it called
good.
again?
Sudden Death.
Sudden Death. Kind of sounds like what was it? I think it was Death Wish.
It's in the same vein, but with Death Wish, he's trying to like clean the streets of whatever town he's in. This is just he just wants revenge. He just wants that gang dead. He even goes, and I don't know if it's like if the guy's related to one of the members of the gang. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but you see the head gang member talking to this one guy throughout the entire movie. And Kevin Bacon goes to this one guy to buy a bunch of guns. And the guy realizes that, oh, you're the one going after the gang. And he kind of threatens him at first, but then he's like, fuck it, your money's good. And then lets him go. So you're like, I don't know, it's a neat little movie. It came in a time where like James Wan was only the horror guy, and this was like smack dab in the middle of his horror movies. So I've always appreciated it.
Nice.
And Kevin Bacon goes fucking insane, shaves his head at one point, gets like all war ready. It's a good movie. Good movie. Check it out.
My favorite is Tremors. Have you ever seen that?
I love Tremors.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I love Tremors. He's so good in that movie too.
I know. Yeah. It's a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously
at all.
You know what I mean?
Is it Mr. Miyagi? No, the grandpa from Three Ninjas. He's
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's the one that names it the Graboids.
Love that movie. I can't remember what I was going to say before I asked that question. One question you might be asking yourself is, do you see dong in this movie?
Oh my god. You see a lot of Kevin Bacon dong.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Different levels of visibility.
Like you see, so at first he just like whips it out. You just like no hesitation, just whips it out. It's there. There's Kevin Bacon dong.
He's like spazzing out on the table. Yeah.
And you see it flopping around.
Oh god.
And then like he starts going invisible, and it's this super dated CGI. But it still looks cool.
I still like that scene.
It looks cool.
The gorilla and him when it like comes on or goes off. Man,
but like
cool.
his skin basically disappears, but like his muscle tissue and stuff's there. So you see muscle dong.
Yeah, like a little.
It's the weirdest explanation ever, but you see muscle dong. And
that's
like,
what it is.
You see water dong.
Infrared dong.
Burnt dong.
Oh, we were talking about how he dies.
Yeah, so
which time?
He dies in so many ways. Elizabeth Shue gets a flamethrower and burns him.
Yes, head to toe,
point blank, several times.
Yes,
and he just walks it off like it's nothing. Like
he runs away. A minute later, he's in a hand-to-hand combat with her,
and like the skin, fuck the skin, rain pouring down, and that can't be feeling like she did the sprinklers, so water is pouring down on burnt skin.
Second, third degrees at least.
That's not feeling good at all.
You can't move your entire body. Like, have you ever had a sunburn? Okay, do you want to fight somebody with a sunburn? No.
He just shrugs it off like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then he gets electrocuted by his own devices. So like he has a crowbar at this point that he used to stab Josh Brolin with, and he swings and he misses. And he hits a little electrical outlet and just shocks the shit out of himself with the sprinklers going on.
Right.
So he's wet body shocking himself. He's dead.
He's
dead.
Yeah.
No question about it. He's dead. No, he's not dead. He comes back.
Yeah. They think he's dead. They go to try to solve the bomb. Okay, can't solve the bomb. We got to get the fuck out of here. They start going up the elevator. Mm-hmm. And then the explosion goes off.
Yeah, they couldn't use the elevator because their access goes. So they start climbing up. But the explosion goes off.
Yeah. And then he comes out of the
explosion.
Like, what? I'm trying to remember the first frame where like he's alive still.
So it's after everything. So like they're climbing, and then you get this one giant explosion that he caused, and then that one giant explosion causes like 5 mini explosions. It's a weird thing that Hollywood loves. But so, and you got this giant tower of inferno going up the elevator shaft because it has nowhere to escape. So essentially the entire complex is in flame.
Right.
So the only place that flame has to go is up the elevator shaft. The explosion is so powerful, it shoots the elevator upwards, and then it starts falling down, and it finally gets like shimmied and stuck in a way. And then you finally see, as they like slowly move past the elevators, trying not to get it to fall, they're climbing up the ladder and shit. Finally, you see the camera pop
POV shot,
POV shot pop over, and you're like, where the fuck did he come from?
He's totally good. Like, he's not burnt. He's not
perfectly fine. And it's not like he could have snuck up on him the entire time, because like you see his muscle. Like after he hit the electricity, his muscle's there. So you see muscle Kevin Bacon at the end of the movie. So it's not like he snuck up on the elevator and they didn't see him, or like he's been with them the whole time. No.
Right.
So how did he get there?
I don't know.
He just shows up.
I don't know. He's just, I mean, you're being naked the whole time. You're very vulnerable.
Yeah, very, very vulnerable. His penis caught on fire.
Oh my God. He was on the ground, stop, dropping, rolling, and it wasn't helping. Like, this dude was on fire.
And then because he was wearing the plastic mask that he made, or the rubber mask that he made for himself, that melted onto him.
Yeah. He's had a bad day.
That's pain.
Man.
That hurts.
Yeah. He also at some point sort of got, besides the power to come back from death, but like super strength. Remember him like choking out like the biggest dude in the film? He's a big guy.
Little dude. So not little dude. Carter, the youngest guy.
Yeah.
Almost like he admires Sebastian throughout the entire film. He's like his little hey, I'll do anything for you, boss.
Yeah. What's
guy.
it like? I would do that.
Yeah. He just fucking. He's not. I wouldn't say like he's chunky by any means, but he's a good 170, 180, close to maybe 2.
Yeah.
He's a stout guy,
big dude,
and this Sebastian is up on some rails, like little pipes or whatever, on the ceiling, and just picks this dude up, starts choking
by
him
his
out.
neck. Yeah, like what?
No,
what?
That is. I did love though, because like he gets sprayed in the face by the warm pipes, and he kind of just drops Carter. This dude literally hits his face. Half his face is gone. Like the bottom part of his chin is gone.
Oh yeah.
And people are like, "Oh my God, we got to go get him blood, or else he'll die." He's dead. Leave this man. He is dead. Okay. I don't know if you've ever been in a horror movie before. Just leave him.
Right.
Anytime you try to save someone, you end up dead.
I wonder when these cliches started coming around. Like when you watched it, have you seen this before?
When I was a kid, I watched it with my dad. It was a while, it was a long while ago. Yeah. Enough where I didn't know a lot of the plot points.
I think, yeah.
Like I remember, like when a scene came up, I was like, "Oh, I remember this," or "Oh, I remember seeing this," but it wasn't like embedded into my brains.
I don't remember. I mean, I saw it too a long time ago, but I don't remember thinking the things that we're talking about here. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean?
Well, especially with like a Scream. I think Scream kind of pointed out a lot of the horror tropes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know when or where those kind of came from. It's just like obvious. When you watch a movie, there's certain things like, unfortunately, the one black character in the movie dies first.
So fast. Yeah.
Not technically first. That was the old general, but like when you get to the typical slasher part of the movie, she's the first to go.
As soon as the black character gets by themselves, you're done.
You're done.
It's sorry,
gone. Don't get separated. Once you're separated, it's no bueno.
No. Like,
don't worry, I'll be right back. No bueno.
You're dead. Yeah. They have heat-seeking or heat-sensitive goggles, weapons, these guns. Sit in a room with one entrance and exit, and just figure that shit out. Like, why is this so hard?
Yeah, honestly, I would have just sat my happy ass in that elevator.
Yeah, you've got like cameras all over the place, which they never. I guess they sort of used.
Kinda.
He turned up the heat at one point, and then
to where like the thermal wouldn't work. He turned up the air temperature to body temperature.
Yeah,
some shit. But no, I literally would have just got everyone. It's like, all right, everyone, get some goggles. here's a gun. We're just gonna sit in the elevator. If we can't leave, neither can he.
Yeah.
Just boom, end of movie.
Yeah.
Just cut it there. It's like, oh, what happened? Well, they all starved to death because Sebastian's an arrogant asshole and he refused to lose.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's like they want to die. They're like trying to put themselves in situations. What are we doing?
Oh, the dumbest. Oh, I'm sorry. The dumbest thing. Two of the dumbest things were the other character, the other nerd geek. I can't think of her name, but
the blonde guy?
not the blonde guy.
Redheaded girl?
No, not redheaded girl. Liz, was it? She was kind of attracted to the curly head guy. Anyway, but the first one that dies during the she gets strangled by the shoestring or whatever. Yeah. She turns back, like everyone's leaving, and she's like, "Oop, I forgot my goggles."
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
That was stupid. And then the whole, you see someone's chin falling off, and you're like, in the middle of a situation like this, and you're like, "Oh, gotta go get blood all by myself, or else I'll die." Here, you stay here all by yourself.
Yeah. She goes and gets like 20 packets of blood and starts throwing them around the room.
I found it funny. I didn't say it out loud, but I was sitting there watching it and while she's throwing this blood, and she's like, "All right, take one step, Sebastian. I will shoot you dead." And I'm like, by the time it took you to throw all that blood, he probably already snuck behind you. Long and behold, he did. He snuck behind her.
It's just
I did really appreciate the camera movements though, where in this one, like with Lee Winnell's, they made it to where it's implied he's standing in the corner or he may be the camera. This one, it was clearly is his POV.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of dug that. I
they
thought
did
that was
use
cool.
that the most out of all the movies I've seen. Yeah. With the Lee Winnell one, it was kind of almost made you feel on edge because you're watching around. Like, am I going to see something? With this one, you knew straight from the beginning.
Yeah.
The effects were, I thought, impressive. I like we're talking about when the serums are going in and out, like all that stuff was cool.
So it definitely is dated CGI, but I wouldn't say it's bad per se.
No.
I would say it's good for the time.
Yeah.
But
some of it has the same kind of charm as the original one.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but
yeah. But I definitely 100% think that it still holds up is the invisibility aspect, where he's wearing like the lab coat, or he's got the rubber mask on, but his eyes are still invisible. I think all that holds up very well.
Yeah,
like those were cool scenes where he's like half invisible, like he takes the rubber hand off and like that's invisible, but he's still grabbing things.
Yeah, the fly,
the fly.
Cool.
Those were cool. Those were cool effects for sure.
I like with the mask thing he was wearing. You saw through his head like you did in the original one. That was kind of a nice little callback.
Also, I love the opening to this movie.
Oh yeah.
It tells you exactly what you're getting into right off the bat. So it's this guy, and he grabs a mouse, and he takes this mouse, and he puts it in a cage. This mouse runs over to this giant water bowl, and is like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get me some water." And then something grabs it, picks it up, chomps down on its head, and then you see like gorilla mouth all bloody and shit. And you're like, oh all right, shit. So I'm getting into a mean-spirited, cheesy movie. Gotcha.
Yeah. This one was more gory than the other ones, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, no, a lot. Where Lee Winnell's was not really gory, but it's more realistic, so it makes it feel a little more painful.
Yeah,
like all the
two people got their throats cut.
Yeah, and I felt every minute of that because they were, one was fast, but like the Adrian that was his name, Adrian. When he was getting, it was so slow, and it just with a steak knife, nonetheless. I'm sitting there just going, ugh, painful. This was just like gore for gore's sake.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Like, I didn't feel any of it. I wasn't like, ooh, that hurts. It was just like, nice.
Yeah, it's a different kind of reaction or something. Like, I don't really care about the characters.
Like, at all. Like, there wasn't a single character I was rooting for. Like, none of them.
Just waiting for Invisible Man to do some more weird stuff.
Yeah. Like, they could have all died, and I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
There was... Because none of them were really... redeeming per se. Like I didn't see
Yeah.
myself rooting for Josh Brolin or Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
I wasn't rooting for them, and then the other characters, like they had enough screen time where like you got their characters, but not enough screen time where you care anything for them.
They're like that formulaic character. Like
Yeah.
you've seen that character in several other movies.
Yeah, it was just something to stack to the body count at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was.
You got to have a guy in this department and a guy in this department, like the tech guy or the
You got
whatever.
the tech guy and his assistant, you got the vet, the new kid, the second smartest scientist, the lady scientist, because of course you got to have a lady scientist.
Sure.
And then Sebastian Cain. That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah. That's about as developed as the characters really get.
Yeah, I mean, truly. And lady scientist used to be his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Boom. And there's your story. Oh, and now also you got Invisible Man shits.
Yeah.
Time for the Invisible Man shits. I'm sorry, Hollow Man shits.
Hollow Man.
Oh, and it was confirmed in this movie that shit would be invisible.
Yeah.
Because he throws up at one point and it's invisible.
Yep.
So
The possibilities out there.
there's possibility.
Yeah.
The possibility exists.
I've grown to like the character of Invisible Man more and more because you talk about him being human. Like he is like the most non-threatening monster at the same time.
Yeah. But also, he definitely is the most non-threatening because when you really think, especially in this movie, they show a lot of ways where it's just a naked dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you take, like, I don't know, they kind of, like you said, gave him a little super strengths and the inability to die a little bit. But, like, if you take all that away and just really think about him as a monster, he's just a naked dude.
Yes. Like he's cold. He's afraid. Like, ugh.
I did like after he killed the general, because he kills the general in the pool at night in Washington D.C. Anyway, so he kills him in the pool at night, gets out of the pool, starts running away, but you see him do like a little shiver. It's like, oh shit, it's cold.
Yeah.
Like, damn straight it would be cold.
Yeah. I don't see like the Invisible Man being a super villain. Like he's a high level prankster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like it would be easy to solve that problem.
Yeah, I feel like you would need like an invisible army. Like I don't see the Invisible Man himself being like the head honcho bad guy, but like if you had a decent little army of lackeys that were invisible, yeah, that'd probably work.
Yeah.
You'd probably get away with some shit.
Yeah.
But you'd have to have a mastermind. That's where, what is that movie? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I've seen that.
As bad as that movie is, I still like it.
The idea of
I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
Because what was he, Moriarty? Yeah, Moriarty was the main mastermind, and he was trying to make an invisible army. Just do that. It's a good plan.
That's what the guy in the first one wanted to do.
He was also invisible.
That's true.
He also had the dong swinging.
So who do you think's been the best Invisible Man actor-wise? He's thinking.
I am thinking. Honestly, acting-wise, I would say Vincent Price.
Oh, damn.
You didn't get to see that one.
Yeah.
But Claude Rains was really good.
I was going to say him.
I don't know the actor's name. He was in Haunting of Hill House, the guy that played Adrian.
Yeah. He wasn't in it as much,
He didn't get a chance to shine.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's true. Like, he's more like the Invisible Man, where you don't get his personality, though, whatsoever. And Kevin Bacon's just fucking crazy. But, like, and I do, like, acting-wise, I think he brought a lot of creepiness to the character.
Kevin
like,
Bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, his voice was very disturbing in some moments where, like, he would whisper, but it's that Kevin Bacon grovel that he does. His character is you for in a lot of ways. But if I'm going acting-wise and character-wise, I would say Vincent Price.
Cool. I gotta watch that one.
Yeah, it's really good. He just kills it because, like I said, he goes from normal guy to the serum is actively messing with him. So like he does the Claude Rain laugh and stuff like that. He does start talking about like how he could conquer the world, but he would also snap back to how he normally would act. So he does a good job playing back and forth with two different personalities.
Gotcha.
And even though he's invisible, just the tone and the way he speaks alone conveys that energy.
That's
so I
cool.
think acting wise, he did the best.
Yeah, I can see why you go that way.
Yeah.
Claude Rains for me.
Claude
Yeah,
Rain.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah. I love that laugh.
Yeah.
It's such a good laugh.
It's impressive to be so emotive when you can't see the person's face.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon again did a good job with this one as well.
Yeah.
I wish they would have given, and I don't know his name. I'm not gonna look it up because I'm too far in. But the guy that played Adrian in the most recent Invisible Man, I wish they would have gave some sort of meat to his character or give him something to act on other than just the final dinner scene.
Yeah.
Because that's really all you get. You get him being aggressive in the beginning, then he's invisible, and then the final dinner scene.
Yeah.
So you get nothing from him acting wise.
Right. He was good in that TV show too.
Yeah, he was.
Haunting of
Hill House. Yeah.
I think he was my favorite on that show.
So, final thoughts. What would you rate it?
This is getting harder and harder. The more movies you rate, the more difficult it becomes. I'm going to rate it. So I liked it more than the 2021 one, but I actually liked it less. I'm going to give it a 2. I think I did 2.5 for the last one. I'm going to do a 2 3/4. So it can be right in between.
Gotcha.
Those two.
Gotcha. Nice. I liked it entertainment wise.
Yeah.
Filmmaking wise, it's pretty generic.
It's so cheesy, yeah.
And the bad thing is Paul Verhoeven does have a unique style to his filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show in that. Like I feel like anyone could have directed this. So
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
So it doesn't have a unique style. It's not creative in any way, or maybe in 2000 it was. I don't know, but like.
The visual effects stuff?
Yeah, but when you're doing the same visual effects that they were doing in 1933, it's not that impressive, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going off of pure, I had fun watching it.
Yeah.
And I may possibly watch it again. So I'm going to give it a 2.5 as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think watching it again that's a high bar. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of movies I don't ever watch again.
Exactly.
Marvel movies including.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually good about watching them once just so I can keep up with the storyline because there are a few Marvel movies that are good, but a lot of them are generic. So I'm just like, meh.
Yeah. They kind of train you not to care that much.
Yeah, because when the next movie is just going to be the same energy, it's who cares?
Same shit over and over. Yeah.
But they do have some good ones every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my thoughts and review. That's your thoughts and review. Yeah. Jay is not here, so we had him do a little clip thingy babob or whatever that he is going to insert probably not here, but
sprinkled
here.
Okay. Tell us your thoughts, Jay. Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Wow.
So interesting.
I would have never thought of that. Wow.
Good,
yeah.
Good points. Good points. A 5, really?
A 5? Wow, Jay. He really likes Kevin Bacon. Jeez.
It was the dong for him. Not the Kevin Bacon dong, but the meat dong.
Yeah, I give this movie 2 3/4 meat dongs.
Meat dongs. So yeah, that has concluded Invisible Man. Well, no, not yet, because we always do a rating.
Oh,
so you didn't get to see Invisible Man Returns, but luckily you've seen 3 out of the 4 movies. So out of those 3, how would you stack them? How would you compare them?
Very, very surely top is the original, the OG Invisible Man. I would watch that shit right now again. That was so entertaining. Like, just thinking of certain parts of that movie make me laugh. The guys with the sticks, the pawns just whacking at nothing. Amazing. Number 2 would be this one, Hollow Man, and then the bottom. I didn't like the 2021 one.
Understandable.
Some parts were really cool, but then I couldn't let go of some of the plot holes.
Yeah, understandable. So, at the bottom, I would probably put Hollow Man. and then Invisible Man just above that. So like I'm kind of reversed on you, like.
And 2021.
Yeah,
Invisible Man, right?
and like I know I rated Invisible Man 2021 a 3.5, where I'm rating this one a 2.5. That's a pretty big step, but that's just the filmmaking.
Yeah.
Story wise, I had a lot more fun watching this one. So that's why they're so close.
Yeah.
But I would still say I prefer technically wise the 2021 Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's going to be the 1933 Invisible Man, and my number one is the one with Vincent Price. I really like that one. That one's really good. But those two are also close.
Yeah.
Those two, because they're almost the same style, but where the 1933 feels like classic cinema, the 1941 Invisible Man Returns feels almost like they're starting to get into film noir, because it is him trying to figure out who murdered his brother, but it's also throw the Invisible Man into the plot.
Okay. Cool.
It's fun. It was a fun one. So
Is it the same writer director as the first one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's definitely not the same director. No,
Doesn't have that lady.
It does not have that lady. Thank God. Oh, actually, you know what? Her performance alone is what brings the original down for me.
God, she's terrible.
So,
Uma or something like that.
Uma something.
Or
Yeah.
Una. Yeah, I don't know.
The olden days can have her. Oh God.
Leave her there.
You know what I found funny? So like I was diving into my Invisible Man movies. Invisible Woman, not really a horror film. It's more of a comedy.
Okay.
It's the one I was telling you about where like all the men in the Invisible Man movies are invisible.
Yeah.
Where this one you can clearly see the silhouette of her. So it's like
Awesome.
it's like they were pandering for men to go, she's naked.
Uh-huh.
I can see them curves.
Yeah.
It's weird. But anyway, there's a lady in the film, and I thought I recognized her. So I went on to Letterboxd, and I figured out who it was. It's the fucking Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah. She's the invisible lady?
She's not the Invisible Woman, but
Oh.
she plays a character in the movie.
Huh.
Not like a main character, but like I would say like supporting character.
Yeah.
Doctor's assistant, doctor's nanny, something like that. But yeah. I was like, dude, that nose looks familiar. And sure enough, that nose was the Wicked Witch of the West's nose.
Whoa, that was a real nose?
It's
They
so
exaggerated
she
it?
does have a protruding nose, but it's
Yeah.
not that bad.
Okay.
But her face structure, I was like, oh, I recognize that shit. Hold up. So thought that was interesting.
Very interesting.
Anyway, so that concludes Invisible Man month, and we are moving on to a new month.
Woo.
Moving on to June, and June is Pride month, so every film that we are watching is going to be Pride related.
Cool.
Every movie is going to be starring is going to have queer themes to it.
Okay.
Starting with the first one that we are watching, which is a personal favorite of mine, and it actually has its own documentary called The Scream Queen or something like that.
The Scream Queen.
Yeah, so it is... oh, and I didn't bring it up, so I don't know the date. Jay's usually about picking up my slack, and he's not here. But it is... Nightmare...
What date is that going to be on, Jay? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Jay. But anyway, so that we're going to be watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy
Ooh,
Returns.
Sweet.
And it is the movie where the director swears up and down it is not an allegory for coming out of the closet, but it's totally an allegory for coming out of the closet.
Okay. Whoa, okay. Freddy was my favorite horror
Favorite slasher guy? Yeah.
Growing up, man.
Mine was
Yeah.
Chucky.
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
loved
Another good
Chucky. The original Child's Play movies, the first three, my bread and butter. But yeah, so join us next week as we are kicking off a new month, Pride Month. If you like the video, hit that like button, hit the bell, subscribe, all that good shit. Check us out on podcasts, all our social medias, and all that other good shit. Whatever that good shit may be, whether it's invisible or not. Until next time, I've been Heath.
I've been Barry.
And you've been... Yep, and you've...
Yeah, that's right.
You've been Jay.
Thank you, Jay. It's like you're here.
It is like you're here. It's I'll just stare at Hello Kitty. You can't see it, but Hello Kitty's like right where his mic would be.
Tell us more, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. But until next time, God, I fucked up. Fucked up the outro. All right, we're going to do the outro again.
Okay.
But until next time, I've been Heath.
I've been Barry.
And you've been listening to Host of Horrors.
Host of Horrors.
You still suck at that. We're going to work on this.